Hey, I'm Tyson Jarvis. Just want to share my experience about bullying with you. I was always overweight growing up, 100 plus kilos, and yeah, that was a major cause of me getting bullied. I currently weigh low 80 kilos now, and I don't know where the bullies are anymore. So, how it made me feel, I felt sad, felt to the point where I hated myself, but I thought the only way to win was to get in shape, and it worked. I'm not saying that's for everybody, but that worked for me. Yeah, probably the other sort of, little bits and pieces getting bullied was I said I want to be an actor. People laughed, and then people see me on the INXS TV show, and then people wanted to congratulate me. So I guess in my experience was to shut the haters up, was to be successful in achieving what you're set out to do.
Did you report the bullying at all to anyone?
In England? You don't do that. You don't do that. If you report it to the teachers beat you up.
And bullying should be a crime.
I like what Jerry said, actually. I think what Jerry said is spot on. I mean, the parents have got to be held accountable. But you know that.
So yeah, but that. On the other hand, I hated seeing people get picked on, and that's where I got myself in a bit of trouble, because I couldn't walk past someone in trouble. I had to stop and go and be Superman, and it worked out a lot of times, and other times it didn't. But I just can't stand seeing people being picked on, and I know sometimes you got to be careful. It's none of your business. You have to be very careful where you step in. Especially in places like LA, you don't know what people have got on them, or if these guys have got weapons or something. So, and I think Doug, I'm really proud of Doug for the 6-7 years we've been coaching and mentoring. We're friends now. There's no more. I mean, a little bit of mentoring, but he's just transformed so amazingly. And for him not to take that personally and come back with that would have put that guy right in his place and made him feel stupid.
That's amazing, Doug. That was amazing what you did.
I appreciate it. Hey, Steve, I'm just wondering, just for your opinion, what do you think needs to be done to reduce bullying?
I like what Jerry said, actually. I think what Jerry said is spot on. I mean, the parents have got to be held accountable. And if it's a bad household, I mean, that's a whole other thing. I mean, the kid just needs to learn. And it's usually, please correct me if I'm wrong here, there's usually an insecurity in the bully. There's some insecurity inside that person, and there's no father figure or just there's no one correcting them and showing them the right way.
Yeah.
But, again, I think like with everything, it's education.
And just to bring something up, and I brought this up in a previous bullying episode as well. Some of the reason that people become bullies is because they're dealing with personal struggles. Like I know a couple people that became bullies because they were violently whipped by their parents, or they were living in a household that was toxic. And I've always said, in cases like that, you can't always count on the legal system for things. There has to be a point, in my opinion, where family members and parents need to start controlling their house and say, we're going to help you, whether you're independent or not, whether it's our business or not.
Yeah, it's a good point. And I think too, when you say if the parents are struggling with their own issues, because we don't know what happened to them before they were married, and that's where obviously people need to really let go of the embarrassment of asking for help, like whether it be a mum or a dad. Like if you don't ask for help, you're very rarely going to solve it on your own. I mean, like what you do, Steve, which we can sort of chat about, like we're talking about bullying in all areas. Now, you rescue dogs, and we'd like to just ask how you started that, but you're actually rescuing dogs that are being severely mistreated and bullied by human beings who are meant to be caring for them,
Oh, there's I don't even know where to start with that. I've seen the work. I mean, this is the thing. I don't like, they talk about the homelessness, they talk about poverty. Nothing. It's never going to get solved until they can't deal with it at a base level, which is animals. they can't figure out the animal control problem, nothing else will get fixed.
Yeah.
Where the abuse starts, where the animals end up at the shelter, where people dump their dogs, where I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy what goes on. People don't even believe it. I mean, we just brought in 3 dogs last Thursday and Friday from South Korea, from a horrendous slaughter farm.
Oh,
An amazing group, Krista Rose and Last Chance for Animals, did an 8-month investigation into, and we're going to bring in, I think, another 6 or 7 more. They talk about abuse. I mean, that goes beyond. People don't believe it. They don't believe it because it's too, what goes on there. It can't be comprehended.
wow.
You know, but yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to.
Gosh. But how do you, Steve, when you bring dogs like that in, how long does it take for those dogs? Obviously, once you start caring for them and healing them, how long does it take for that particular animal that you bring in, the dog, to lose the fear of a human being? That must be terrible.
And I mean, we've taken in dogs from South Korea over the last few years. I mean, one we brought in a few years ago took her 2 or 3 years to decompress, but she saw more than anybody else as a dog, because she was a breeder dog, so she saw the dogs get slaughtered and stuff. Traumatized for a long time. The ones we just brought in, one's fine, one's absolutely fine because they didn't see anything. The other 2 are very skittish, so it's going to take a bit of time. But,
so that's interesting. So dogs, and this sounds really ignorant from me, but so the dogs watching and witnessing, they hold that in their memory of like what they're seeing, and that causes them post-traumatic stress, obviously, right? To a severe level.
Yeah. But you know, I mean, our group we like to take the underdog. You know, we like to take. I mean, we rescue a lot of pit bulls because they got the worst reputation and they're literally the best breed on the planet. And I'll go to my death saying that. You know, you've got to stop blaming the wrong end of the leash, as I keep saying. You know?
That's a good saying.
Listen, I hate it. I hate waking up in the morning, checking the hundreds and hundreds of emails, but help, you know, and the stress of it. And it's constant. It's 24 hours a day. It's been 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the last 14 years. There's never been a day.
And you know what, Steve? I remember you saying to me one day when we had a coffee, you said, if you don't mind me saying it, you did say, I just want to quit sometimes, but I can't. Because if I quit, I just can't do it. And to you, like, that's, wow, man. I hope someone's looking after you and your mental and physical, you know, well-being as well, because what a stressful, you know, thing you're doing.
You're a hero, Steve.
No.
Taking care of animals, man. You're a hero, brother.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, thank you, but I'm not. But thank you. The group we have is we have an amazing group. So now I don't have to do what I used to. I used to be really, really hands-on. I mean, my language, I do and get into. Back then it was crazy. I look back and how did I even? Why? I mean, I don't think I can tell any stories on air for legal reasons. But anyway, but now we run this group and we do transport. So we take about 100 dogs a month from the kill shelters here in California, which are horrendous, by the way. There's no such thing as no kill. Just let's get that straight. They keep saying LA's no kill. It's not. They're killing a lot of dogs. There's strays everywhere. There's dogs being neglected. There's no such thing as no kill. No such thing. No such thing. Just want to make that very clear to everybody. No matter the claims on TV of no kill LA. Anyway, but we have a transport group, so we take about 100 dogs a month up to the Pacific Northwest in Oregon and Washington State, not too far from you, Jerry. We're not far from the Canadian border.
Yes.
And we also fund about 1,000 spay neuters a year as well. That's what we do. So now we have someone arranging the transports. My job for the group now is just to keep the funding, raise the money, because it costs about $35,000 a month to keep us going every month.
Is there any education in training people who have dogs how to care for them? Like, I mean, is there anything in a program like that? Like Jerry's doing his, with his young teenagers, boys and girls, the boys club, teaching them some things about life, bullying, how to look after themselves, how to be a good human being. Is there anything like that for people caring for animals, how to, care for them?
Yeah, a lot of people, it's just innate. Some people just have it, I mean, I've met guys that have been in gangs and stuff that just love animals. They would kill someone, but anyone hurts their animal, they would literally, I mean, I've spoke to so many people. I mean, I think I might have told you this last time. I was leaving the South Central shelter South Central is not the best area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Banging up and down, and it has playing loud music, and there's guys inside, like, they were gangbangers or something, and I walked past. I just rescued this big pit bull, and walking by, I was like, "Hey, help me!" I'm like, "Oh Jesus!" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Is that your dog?" I'm like, "Oh Jesus, yeah." "Oh, cool, man. We got a cat inside. It's getting fixed. You take care of that dog now. We love animals." It was such a shock. I'm like, "Thank you."
Love it.
And I was shaking, walking away. It's really funny. It's just, so you never know. But yeah, education again. It's education. Like we've taught. Like I used to be a meat eater. 10 years ago, I turned vegan. I've never touched meat again.
I'm vegan.
You're vegan too?
Boom. I was wondering, and I mentioned the dog. I went, "Do you know if he's vegan?" Doug goes, "I don't know if he is." Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. How long you been vegan?
I've been vegetarian for about 12 years maybe.
Wow.
I've been vegan for like probably 7, 8, I think. 7, 8.
Good for you,
maybe
brother.
Maybe 10. Oh yeah, it's but that's the point. It's education. I learned, I saw.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm putting this in my body. There's no way ever again. Never,
Exactly.
ever again.
Yeah.
Well, you know what you're just sharing. I know it's not. It is getting off topic a bit, but it's not, because it's caring about people and animals, and so we're on that same topic.
Yeah.
Our friend Angie, only met her the other day, Steve, again, and she has walked out of parties she's been invited to when they're serving meat, and she says, "I can't be here," and the host says, "I know it upsets you." That's pretty brave to walk out of a party when you're not going to put. And good on her for doing it. Whatever people think, they think. But I said, "Do you ever get anyone saying to you, 'Wow'?" And she says, "Yes, I've had a couple of text messages in private because they didn't want to say it out loud. They went, 'Wow, love you, good on you for your bravery,' to walk out of an invited party because you're not going to be there while meat's being served."
No, exactly, and there was a point. Angela told me that story. I was really happy for her that she did that. And I don't judge people. Let them eat meat. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't like when I'm judged. Like you're judging me because I don't eat dead things.
Yeah.
And hurting the environment. It's if I'm healthy. I mean, I've got more energy. I don't know if you as well, Jared. It's got
yes, exactly. Mental clarity.
It's like I woke up. I feel like I woke up.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, I know exactly what you're feeling. Yeah.
Well,
People say, I love animals too. And I'm like, well, the difference between you and I is I don't eat them.
Yeah,
and I'll leave it there. And I'm like, but I still love you.
How did you become vegan? What caused it?
I was vegetarian for about 8 years. And then 2017, something just was gnawing on me to go, you know what are you doing? Why did I go vegetarian? Because I love animals, but I'm like, I'm doing it half-assed. I said, I really love animals. That's the number one reason why I became vegetarian. And then I went, you know what? I'm still kind of contributing to the torture and to all the suffering that the animals are going through. And I said, no, I love animals too much. And I said, that's it. It's animals first. That's the reason why I went vegan. And then 2017, I went vegan and I went, yeah. And I feel so much better. Yeah.
Amazing.
Good for you, man. I'm happy that, because I was wondering, I'm going, oh man,
Hi, my name is Karen Haynes. I'm a lifelong educator with 25 years of experience as an administrator. It has always been my focus and priority to provide a positive learning environment for our students, as well as our adults. Bullying impacts students every single day in schools. It is something that doesn't just occur in the moment and harm somebody at that time. It can cause lifelong harm and challenges and trauma. Statistically, 20% of students ages 12 to 18 experience bullying. Those students are correlated with higher rates of attendance issues as well as being a dropout. Even worse, 2 to 9 times higher rates of suicide from students that have been bullied or people that have felt bullied. That is unacceptable. It is time for us to take a stance. It is time for us to intervene. It is time for us to have a no tolerance regarding bullying and ensure that we provide training, as I prefer to call it, around kindness, compassion, respect, and dignity. It's about celebrating the differences of others. It's about making sure everybody feels that they are cared for and that they have the opportunity to thrive. Please, please band with me. We need to do this together. It's important because we can start with one school. We can start with one person. We can begin in one community and start a complete ripple effect across the nation and the world. I truly believe we can do this. I know we can do this. We all have the capacity to love and be compassionate. We all have the capacity to intervene when it's safe. And if it's not safe, then go get help. But it's time. It's time to change things. We can do this collectively. Please, please band with me and others to ensure that we are always practicing kindness and compassion with respect and dignity in our schools and with everybody that we interact with. Thank you so much.
Hi guys, my name's Matt Fendog Fennel, and I don't like bullies. I don't like bullies because what bullies don't realise is the things that they say can sit with people for life, can cause anxious relapses, trigger illnesses, both mental and physical. Don't tease someone for their appearance, they're humans too.